So now let's switch to the lens of risk. What we wanted to show was a way to track macro risk. Now we have a basic hypothesis. Higher macro risk means lower risk-adjusted returns because essentially it's an environmental feature outside of your control, and hence it hurts alpha generation. And it's secondly, the speed of that second derivative in macro risk, i.e. the size of the shock, which hurts the most. More often than not, a macro risk shock is bad news, not good news. And so what we're showing here is the vol forecast from our model for the S&P 500, and we've plotted that as a 50-day z-score. So simply looking at our output relative to the intermediate trend. And we're showing this over the last 8 years, and it is a fear versus complacency gauge. When you're at the bottom end of the range, 2 to 2.5 standard deviations below its 50-day moving average, there is complacency. And there's high fear at the other end of the extreme. And in February, there was complacency. We were at the bottom end of the range, and essentially this was telling us that macro had become an afterthought. But what was clear that every time we hit greater than 3 standard deviations historically, we were close to a tradable rally. The pain elastic can only stretch so far, and that's marked with the green arrows. This chart here is showing where we were in early March. But if I updated this and showed you up to today, essentially it rose to above 4 standard deviations in early April, coinciding with the market low. But today it's come back much closer to the mean. So again, we're showing this for the S&P 500, but a client can create this for their portfolio or any asset as really a tool to decide whether to gross up or gross down exposure.